Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel, and we're back with another driver career mode episode. It's round 5 around Miami, a new track on the calendar, and I am very excited to race around here. And because I am so excited, I decided to get a new helmet design just for this weekend. We're gonna make a very red helmet design this time round, and it's just for the Miami Grand Prix, and we'll switch back to the old one for the next race. Now, if you haven't seen last episode yet, spoiler alert, we had some major gearbox issues, but somehow we still managed to finish in the points. But we have to change the gearbox, so I had a look at the engine wear and decided to change a few more components just to make sure nothing else fails us during the race or during qualifying, etc. We won't take any grip penalties, these are just components from the pool. As soon as we get a extra gearbox, for example, we have to get a grip penalty, but that is not the case just yet. Now we're having a look at some of the upgrades. We're going to apply one for the chassis, and that is just about it. And we're going to head to the Pirelli Hotlap. This is the Autocross Pirelli Hotlap. You have to drive through the gates, and I'm going to speed this up because it takes quite some time. But as you can see, you just have to drive through the gates. If you hit one of the cones, you get a 5-second time penalty, just as we get it right there. If you miss one, you get 10 seconds added, but luckily we haven't missed one. This is probably one of the more fun Pirelli Hotlaps to do. I quite enjoyed doing this, despite it being sometimes very annoying when you miss or hit a gate. I think this is one of the better ones, and I really enjoyed doing this. Anyways, we finished the Autocross event, and it is only a bronze medal. Unfortunately, no gold, but I'll take bronze. I'm not going to try it again. I think that takes away the fun if you just try hard every Hotlap event to get gold. That is just not right. You get one attempt, and that is it. Anyways, we head to the workstation into the race weekend, and we go to the weather forecast, and it is going to be raining at the start of this race, and somewhere halfway through it will be drying up. But that is one heck of an interesting weather forecast, and I was really looking forward to the race. But first we have to head into practice to try and get as much resource points as we can to upgrade this car even faster, so that hopefully we can keep up this good streak of point finishes we have. So here we are then in practice, and it is a bit dark outside. The sun isn't fully out just yet, but we're going to start with the track acclimatization as usual.
They told you about the new parts that have come in from the factory, right? Well, they're all fitted and good to go. I hope they do the trick.
I hope they do the trick as well, Mark. I really hope they do the trick, and we'll have to wait and see to the end of the weekend. But we're going to start with the track acclimatization now, and it was actually quite hard. It took me all 3 of the laps to get a perfect score. I got the good score at the first run, but it took me 3 laps to get the perfect score, and that was probably down to this being a new track, and obviously you're learning the track. I already did it a bit in TT, but still a new track, new car. It was a learning curve, and we managed to get it on the 3rd lap, so I was quite happy with that. So we have a look at the score. As you can see, we got front wing damage for some reason, but it is all purple. And we now go to the race strategy, and this one was quite a funny one. As you can see, we go on board with the front wing, we hit the bollard, and the front wing gets damaged, but it was just visual damage, no simulation damage, no physical damage. I couldn't feel any difference, and also on the heads-up display there was nothing wrong with the front wing. But here we get a purple score as well. We managed to pull all our time in that very slow section of the track, in that chicane. And just like in Imola, it's the slow sections where we're very strong. Now we head into practice 2, where it looks like heaven is opening up in terms of the sun just shining in your eyes. And we do the qualifying practice program, and we're actually green. We're up on the delta. As we come out of the final corner, the delta is dropping a little bit, but it's staying green. And this is actually one of the first times we're gonna manage to get it. No? I thought we were green coming over the line. We get a red practice score. Why is that? This is weird. As you can see, the white line is us. We finish above the blue line. We finish above the expected time. But it is not good enough. So we just head to quick practice, get the resource points there, because I deserve them. We get all the resource points eventually. We get all the bonuses as well. And both Alex and myself score a good chunk of resource points, bringing our total up to around 1500 resource points. And at the end of this weekend, we can buy some nice upgrades from those resource points. Combined with these discounts on a few of these parts, we're going to be developing this car at a rapid speed. And hopefully we can make a charge to the midfield as we get some more acclaim. We are still in level 5. And now we're going to head into our qualifying session. So here we are then, and you guys know the drill. We're just going to start a flying lap at the start of the session. We fueled up for 2 runs with a cooldown lap in between. See if we can do a faster on the second run. Most of the time we spin, but that doesn't matter. And then at the end of the session we do another one. So we're starting our first timed lap of the session now. And we're just going to be very quick about it. This was a very tentative lap, and I had a general idea where to gain more time for the second lap. But we have to finish this first lap first to get a delta reference on the board for that second lap. So as we come across the line, what it's going to be, it is a 30.1, so a very decent delta time. And now we're doing a cooldown lap, and now we're getting ready for the second timed lap on this set of softs. And let's see if we can improve. I was guessing we could go like half a second faster, maybe not on this set, but for the final run at least. But we're going to try to go faster anyways on this same set of softs. So let's see what we can do. Into turn 1, I think we can get a way better exit. And yes, we can. The delta goes green straight away. But we make a bit of a mistake and we go a little bit sideways. And we lose a bit of the delta, but it stays green. And as we come to the chicane at the start of sector 3, we just start gaining and gaining time on the delta. And look at that, we're like 3.5 tenths up. But as we come out of the final corner, the delta has gone down a little bit, pretty much down to tire wear, and we go 2.5 tenths quicker, and we set a 29.9. But as we come back to the garage, we fast forward a bit, we are still in last place. So for this final run, we have to get some magic out of this car to get us at least ahead of Alexander Albon and out of this last place on the grid. So let's see if we have the magic to do it, if the car has the magic to do it. And I'm going to leave you on board with this run, so enjoy the engine sounds, enjoy the lap, and I'll see you at the end.
Seconds left in the session.
And what a lap that was. We improved by 8 tenths of a second. But we do not manage to get into Q2. We're P16. Charles Leclerc once again goes fastest in Q1. Unfortunately, we just miss out on Q2 by about a tenth of a second. And we match our personal best qualifying position of P16 ahead of Alexander Albon. Let's head into the race.
Welcome to the Miami International Autodrome, home of the Miami Grand Prix. This exciting track circumnavigates the Hard Rock Stadium, home to the NFL outfit, the Miami Dolphins. Well, it's certainly not sunny here in the Sunshine State. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 19 corners and 3.36 miles of track around Hard Rock Stadium. These conditions should prove especially difficult for our drivers today. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, George Russell and Hamilton, Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, Bottas and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Norris, Sebastian Vettel, Sparrow, Joe, Albon, Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll. Tsunoda and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are three big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. And judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
So here we are then on a very rainy grid, and it looks like we'll be starting the race on intermediate tires, and the first 4 icons of the race are rain. So as you can see, I guess for about 18 laps, and from my experience from previous games, I think that unfortunately the AI do not recognize that they can go 4 laps longer on their first set of inters and will pit for a second set just before the rain stops. Anyways, we go onto the grid. Let's see, can we get a perfect grid slot position once again, just like we've been having for the past couple of races. We spin the rear tires one final time, and as we slot onto the grid, how will it be? It is too far. We have gone too far and we'll be starting just a little bit backwards, but that doesn't matter. We're going to get 5 red lights for a rainy race here in Miami. 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go here in Miami. It's a very good start for our first time in the rain. As we get underway, we stay in position. Obviously, we were a bit too far back to try and have a look into turn 1. And actually, we have a few cars up our inside, but we tried to go round the outside of Sebastian Vettel. We get him on the traction. He had the tighter line through the first corner. And now we're very close to the gearbox of Lando Norris ahead. And we've gained 1 position of the start, but obviously very slow because of the rain. And now it's just a matter of finding the grip, finding the rhythm, and see if we can move forward in this race, or if we're going to have to look back constantly and defend. For now it looks like we're able to stay with Lando Norris, and Vettel hasn't really had a look up the inside just yet, as we go a little bit wide in this very long left-hander, going onto a very long back straight. And it doesn't look like Vettel is close enough to make a move as we deploy the overtake. And we look forward as we go on board with Fernando Alonso. He's looking to make a move on Valtteri Bottas. Can the Spaniard go up the inside? No, he goes right into the back of the fin and has lost his tire, and he is out of this race. And that has brought out the virtual safety car on the first lap of this race, of this rainy race here in Miami. And this is a replay on board with Fernando Alonso. He just brakes way too late, goes into the back of Bottas, loses his tire, and he is out of the race. This is what Ocon saw his teammate just crash into the back.
Okay, we've been informed due to increasing risks, they're moving from a virtual to a full safety car. Full safety car.
Okay, so full safety car now, and that means we're going to have to try and keep these tires up to temperature. And as we try that, we nearly spin into the wall. We touch the wall, but with the side of our tires, so no vehicle damage luckily, but we are falling too far back now as we have to catch up to the cars ahead to not get disqualified or a drive-through penalty. But that was one heck of a scary moment.
Safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap.
So end of lap 3 now. The safety car has been called in, and our tires are very, very cold, as you can see. And I tried to warm them up just a little bit, but it isn't working too good. I'm trying to figure out how to warm these tires, but nothing is really working. And I really have to take about 2 laps at this pace under safety car conditions to heat up the tires. Anyways, it is Charles Leclerc that leads the safety car as we get this beautiful TV camera shot, and we are very close to the back of Lando Norris. Do we fancy a move up the inside of the Brit into turn 1? We look too far back, but we dive it up the inside. He leaves us the space and we get past the Brit, and now we are up into P11 and we're very close to the points, but we make a mistake. We go way too wide, and Lando Norris goes back up the inside. We go side by side, but he has the position for the next left-hander, and I thought we were up into P11, but we're back down to P12, and now we have to re-overtake him once again after we did a beautiful dive into turn 1, and instead it looks like Vettel tries to go up the inside as we go way too wide for this left-hander, but that gives us a great exit onto the back straight, and he isn't able to challenge us here, at least I believe so, and no, he isn't able to. So we move on to lap 5 now, as we go through the same section we've just been through a lap earlier, and we ride on board with Yuki Tsunoda, because ahead of him Alexander Albon's engine blows up right in Yuki's face, and that is a yellow flag behind, and that is our teammate retiring from a race for a second time this season now due to engine problems, or something engine related at least, and that is very, very unfortunate. And I really hope that bad luck doesn't strike our car this race, because I really felt like I had some good pace, as there's the confirmation Alexander Albon is out of the race. And that is actually going to bring out the full-blown safety car for the second time in this race, and it is only lap 5 and we already have 2 safety cars.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap. 10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes.
So nothing really happened, so I just decided to skip to the end of the safety car as we nearly run into the back of Lando Norris, and we're gonna have another chance at Norris and try to overtake him just like we did on the previous safety car restart. Charles Leclerc once again leads the safety car restart, and it is green flag racing once again here in Miami. And can we make a move on Lando Norris once again? It looks like we're further back than the last time round, but never say never, and we're gonna try up the inside. We brake very late and we make the move stick, and this time round let's not make a mistake and let Lando Norris re-overtake us. And we do not make a mistake, and we stay ahead of the Brit, and that was an amazing move down the inside, a copycat move of the last time of the last safety car restart, but this time we stay ahead as Lando Norris actually challenges round the outside. Perhaps no, he doesn't, and we keep ahead, and we're now right behind Ocon and Bottas, but it doesn't look like we're able to match their pace, and I didn't expect to match their pace, and instead I think P11 is realistically seeing the highest position we'll be able to finish in, as right now we go on board with Vettel right behind us. He is chasing after Lando Norris instead, and Lando Norris is not attacking us, so let's see, can Vettel make a move on the Brit? He goes down the inside, he brakes very late, later than Norris and later than ourselves, and he has gone too deep and he's touched us, and we're round, and we have picked up floor damage as well, and we've lost the place to Lando Norris as well, and now we're side by side with Guan Yu Zhao in the Alfa Romeo through this very tight section of the track. And what the hell was that? I cannot believe that Vettel has just dive bombed us and taken part of our floor. Here is a replay of the incident. As you can see, Vettel moves to the inside and he just brakes way too late. He taps our rear. There was no way he was getting past us as well, and he taps us round, and we've picked up floor damage. So Mark says the damage is not too serious, but all the hard work we've put into overtaking Norris has just been undone by Sebastian Vettel, and we're back into P12, and now we also have floor damage, and I couldn't believe this. I was fuming in the helmet, but it is what it is, and Lando Norris was able to get away as there's yellow flags, and Carlos Sainz is out of the race, and that is one position up for us, and we're now into P11 once again, as this is what happened to Carlos Sainz. It just looks like his engine gone already at the end of the straight. A Red Bull behind, very hesitant to overtake the Spaniard as they go side by side through the slow section of the track. But Carlos, yeah, as you can see, smoke coming from the back of the car. Everyone gets past now. Carlos pulls to the side of the track. No safety car for this one. Very weird that we got one for Alexander Albon but not for Sainz. Well, anyways, we skip to the end of lap 11, and the rain has been getting less and less as we set a personal best. And as you can see at the end of lap 14 here, a few people are coming into the pits and pitting for another set of intermediate tires, but it also has stopped raining and I won't be pitting, so essentially all these cars are pitting for nothing. As we look behind, as Lance Stroll just a few cars back, Magnussen comes out of the pits and they ran into each other, and that is very unlucky and very clumsy from Stroll, and that is actually going to bring out a third safety car in this race, and we've only had 15 laps and we're already on our third safety car. We've only done half the race and we're gonna box this lap, and not for intermediate tires, no. we're gonna box for a set of mediums. So my thought process was, once the safety car comes in, the track will be dry enough for a set of medium tires, so why not pit now? All the AI that hadn't pitted on lap 13 or 14 are going to pit now for a set of intermediate tires. They're all making a massive mistake as we get held up by one of the Haas cars there. That is Magnussen, who's pitting for a fresh front wing. But yeah, we go out on track on a set of medium tires, and we are going to be the first car after the safety car restart that is going to be on the right tires, and hopefully we can finish in the points. Right now though, the track is still way too wet for slick tires as we go very, very deep into turn 11 as Vettel gets past on his new intermediate tires. Because I was off the track, he was allowed to overtake, and we're just drifting through this corner as Vettel just drives away. We're so slow and we're holding up pretty much everyone behind us, but eventually we managed to catch up to the cars ahead. It is now the start of lap 18 and the track is most definitely drying.
Stable at the moment, no rain currently expected. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
And that is what we like to hear. Dries seem to be the fastest tyre at the moment.
Safety car in this lap, safety car in this lap.
And now the safety car is in this lap as well, so we have timed this switch to dry tires perfectly as the track is drying up whilst the safety car is coming in. And even weirder to see, it is not a Ferrari, not a Red Bull, not even a Mercedes that is leading this train. It is Mick Schumacher in his Haas as the safety car comes in, and it's not only the safety car that will be coming in, it is pretty much the entirety of the grid that is boxing at the end of this lap whilst the safety car is coming in, and we are just going to fly past on our dry tires. There we are behind one of the Alfa Romeos. We're in P2 after everyone has pitted. It's only Bottas that hasn't decided to pit, with a few cars behind us as well. All their teammates came in and they decided it is not worth losing the time to double stack in the box, but we are the only car on track right now that is on dry tires as Pierre Gasly is fancying move around the outside of the fast left-hander, but it looks like we just have the grip and we managed to keep ahead. And now through this very long left-hander we can really see the difference in grip. Our tires are starting to work better, and on the exit here, just look at the arrows behind, they just disappear. We have such better grip that we managed to just pull away on a straight, and there's no way they're going to be challenging us down the back straight. At the end of that lap we go very wide into turn 17. The track is not optimal yet, but it's definitely dry tires that are the fastest, as Bottas and Ricciardo and Gasly and Stroll now all decide to go into the pits as we set the fastest lap of the race, and we are going to take the lead of the Miami Grand Prix in the Williams in just our 5th race of the season, of our career, and this is mental. Look at the gap behind though. It is Schumacher in P2 with a gap of about 12 seconds, and we're just going to ride on board with Charles Leclerc, who is right behind Mick Schumacher, and Mick is going to be defending for his life. He's going to be defending for a podium in a Haas. He's going to try and follow his father onto the podium. Will he be able though to hang on to that podium with both Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen looking very, very fast behind him? As we go onto the back straight, Charles Leclerc is looking to make that move, braking into turn 11. Let's see, is he going to be able to make it work? There goes Charles Leclerc, pulls out of the slipstream. Mick goes defensive though. They go into the corner. Charles Leclerc takes the inside line. It looks like he gets ahead, but Mick Schumacher says no. He pulls it round the outside. He goes up the inside for the long right-hander, and they're side by side going into the tight section of the track, but it looks like Charles Leclerc is able to keep ahead as they go through the chicane. Mick Schumacher has to concede the position, and now just a lap later it's going to be Max Verstappen that tries it at the same place as Charles Leclerc did into turn 11. He goes down the inside, but once again Mick Schumacher sticks it round the outside and he keeps the position, and this time he's actually ahead going into the chicane now, so Max Verstappen has to wait for another opportunity to arise, and Mick hangs on to P3 for now as we get this awesome shot of Max Verstappen's helmet. But we move to Mick Schumacher because DRS has been enabled, and Max Verstappen is very, very close behind. He opens the rear wing, and here comes the Flying Dutchman. They're both going towards turn 17 now. Also a big braking zone. Mick goes defensive, forces Max round the outside. They brake for turn 17, and Mick actually keeps the position. Max tries to hang it round the outside, and he gets the traction. Max also gets the DRS that will be activated later on the straight. There you can see the rear wing opens once again, but Mick Schumacher keeps round the outside, down the pit straight. Is he going to hang it round the outside of turn 1? Yes, he is, but Max Verstappen has the inside line, but Mick has beautiful traction. They go side by side through turns 2 and 3. But now it looks like Max has gotten the move done, and Mick Schumacher is demoted to P4. Still not bad for a Haas, but I can imagine he wanted to hang on to that podium. In the meantime though, Charles Leclerc has been catching up to us, and he is just chipping away at that 12-second gap we had after they came out of the pits when they pitted for dry tires, and I expected nothing less. I didn't think we would be winning this race. I didn't even expect to finish on the podium, and instead I'm looking for a top 5 finish. But we're going to defend anyways. We're going to defend like hell, as Charles Leclerc has managed to get in the DRS. He is in within 1 second, but I don't even think he needs the DRS. He just has such better traction. And here comes the Monegasque. He goes round the outside and is going to take the inside line for the next left-hander, and he has already gotten the place done, and he has retaken the lead of the Miami Grand Prix, and we're now down to 2nd place. And from now on it's just going to be pain, because I know I'm too slow to fight these guys. I am nowhere near their pace, and I'm just going to be overtaken left, right and center. So onto lap 26 we go now, and it's Max Verstappen. He has the DRS wide open, and he dive bombs us down the inside of turn 1. We hang it round the outside, and we're side by side going into turn 2, but Max squeezes us off the track, and he leaves us no space, and we have to give up the place. It was going to happen anyways, but that was very, very rude. And now at the end of lap 27 it is Mick Schumacher that passes us in the Haas, and he is back up into P3, into a podium place, and that is amazing for the young German. But we actually brake a little bit too late, and we run into the back of him. And do we have wing damage? I don't know. We look on the MFD and it doesn't look like we have wing damage. We still have that massive floor damage though, as we activate the DRS. We go for Mick Schumacher, and now we have Esteban Ocon and George Russell right behind us, and we're trying to defend from them. As we go to the end of lap 28 now, it is George Russell who has overtaken Esteban Ocon, and now he's looking to overtake us as we go deep into turn 17, and George has the better exit, so we go side by side through the final 2 corners here, and onto lap 29 we are fighting one of the Mercedes drivers for P4. So we go side by side towards turn 1. We try to brake later than him, but he hangs it round the outside. We challenge him still for P4, but there's no way we're getting past him now, and instead we're going to have to look behind for Esteban Ocon and Lando Norris, and maybe they will be overtaking us. Here comes Esteban Ocon down the inside of the fast left-hander. We have to turn out of the corner, otherwise that was going to be a massive collision and we'd be out of the points for sure. So we give up the place to Esteban Ocon, and we're down to P6 now. But maybe with the DRS we can at least defend from Norris, and maybe even think of re-overtaking Esteban Ocon in the Alpine. But here comes Lando Norris even before the DRS is activated. He goes side by side and he's past us, but we open the DRS and Lando Norris actually brakes as he closes his DRS, and we go side by side towards Esteban Ocon. We box Lando Norris in. We try to go on the inside, but Lando Norris leaves us no space whatsoever. We get on the curb and we lose the back, and that is that position done, and we're P7. So as we come across the line, it is going to be 6 points in an amazing race here in Miami.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Ferme then. What a fantastic race. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy and to stay out of trouble.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari.
Wow guys, what a race that was. P7 and 6 points to our name, bringing our total up to 9 points. We tripled our amount of points and I really enjoyed this race, and I really enjoyed making this video for you guys. So if you have enjoyed this video as well, make sure to drop a like, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel for more daily F1 22 content, and I really hope I see you guys for the next video. Until then, bye bye.